So after this, I started thinking about where I wanted to go with my character. And after that promo, I was like, I kind of want to lean into this a little bit. And if I lean into this, hopefully this will get them away from the idea of trying to mention my fiance. Because I really think that part of that was tied to the A-list gimmick, which was Vince's idea, by the way. Because at first, my name was supposed to be the Marquee, they told me. But then when I showed up for the first day of NXT, I found out it was changed to the A-list. Because like my whole family surprised me. They created shirts for me. They created merch, and it said the David Otunga the Marquee. And they got there, and I came out, and I was called the A-list. They're like, "This is awesome," but hey, our shirts, what's going on? So anyway, that was a Vince call. Um, so I was essentially breaking away from the A-list character and now getting into the Harvard educated lawyer gimmick. So I wanted to think about like what he would look like and started toying with some ideas. And I was thinking, kind of like Carlton Banks from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. And it was at some point like backstage and Cena was there. And I'm going to give him his credit on this is, I was thinking about like a bow tie. And I asked him, I was like, John, what do you think about this? And he was like, oh yeah, like Carlton Banks. He was on board with that, with the Fresh Prince. And he's like, yeah, a bow tie. Now that would be heat. And then of course he tells me, you know what? You got to go get a bow tie. You got to show up tomorrow with a bow tie so Vince can see it. Like, okay. Um, all right. And so I went and I remember whatever city we're in, I went to like a Macy's or something and I bought a bow tie. But the thing of it is, I wanted to get a real one, not a clip on one that I actually had learned to tie. I never tied one before. So thankfully, YouTube University was new, but there was some bow tie videos on there and it worked. Taught myself how to tie a bow tie, tied this bow tie, and had a sweater on and showed up the next day for TV. And I remember I was backstage. It didn't take long. Vince arrived and I was in the hallway. So I started walking towards him and he was walking. And as soon as he got close, he saw me coming and he just kind of stopped and looked at me and he had this smirk and he goes, "Now that's heat," and walked off. And I was like, wow, okay, so this worked. So then I couldn't wait to tell John about this because his idea worked. And I went and I told him, and he was happy, obviously. And so it was kind of cool because given our history, um, you know, so to talk more about that, like there was there was a mutual, well, he was starting to respect me at this point. And so like I wasn't seeking his approval at all. And I did not chase him down to shake his hand. In fact, if we were in the same room, I say, "Hey, what's up, John?" and go shake his hand. But like I stopped with all the customary forced pleasantries and all that. But, you know, we were very professional. We were able to work together and like low key. This is what I mean. Like we are slowly starting to build something to improve and build a little bit better relationship. And so it was cool just to be able to bounce the idea of the bow tie off and for him to encourage me there. And Vince loved it. So during this time, I was trying to figure out an entrance for my character, the Harvard educated lawyer, and I was always into bodybuilding and fitness. And during this time, like because I was embarking on a singles career, I was really dialed in on my diet. Like I wanted to reinvent my character. And when I was in Nexus, I was more of a powerhouse. Just I wanted size and strength. I wanted to be lean, but I there was an emphasis on size and strength. I wanted to look powerful, and I did that. But now with the lawyer gimmick, I wanted to be more aesthetic. So I wanted to be still, extremely strong and powerful, but I wanted to be lean and I wanted to look like a Greek statue. I wanted to look like Michelangelo's David. But anyway, I was pretty much achieving that. Like I achieved a great look in my opinion. I really enjoyed my physique around this time. And I was getting praise from a lot of people. Yeah, there you go. And then I was trying to figure out what to do, and I wanted to do some kind of a posing routine. And I remember we were we were in another country, and I remember John actually, gave me some input. So because he used to be a bodybuilder, and that's something that we were able to connect on. And so he helped me, just make my posing routine flow a little bit more. So the posing routine that I ended up settling on, he kind of helped me come up with that and just with the flow, which was cool. And then he encouraged me on it. So then like I was happy because at least I knew that's something he was, and he told me, I look great. I know I look great during that time, but he told me. So it was cool. And I really appreciated that. Anyway, yeah, that's a little known fact, but Cena actually helped me a little bit on the posing routine for my entrance. And everybody knows my entrance music, of course, which was a banger. Also, during this time, they I'm getting ready to now start my singles career. Like they told McGillicuddy and I, all right, you guys are going separate ways. You guys are each going to be singles competitors. And I remember we were down at the ring, regular day before TV, and one of the producers was like, "Hey, can we have a Tonga come up to the stage?" All right, so or up to the ramp. So I go up the ramp, the stage, and one of them's right there. They say, "Do you want to hear your new entrance music?" I say, "Sure." And they play it, and I'm like, "Wait, this is Justin Gabriel's song," because Justin Gabriel had just gotten the music I have, All About the Power, and he had it for about 2 weeks. I don't think people know that because at the time, I feel like Jim Johnston created like 6 or 7 new tracks and for entrance music, and then they were trying to see which track fit with who the best because obviously you had the new guys from NXT season 1 and I think season 2 was ending, so you had a bunch of new talent coming up who needed theme songs. But anyway, they played it for me and they were like, "What do you think?" I was like, "Oh, that was Justin Gabriel's, but all right." They're like, "Do you like it?" "Yeah, sure." I mean, it's not like they were going to change it. They told me this is what you have. So, all right. But I mean, I did like it. And it does seem like the lyrics kind of fit with me. So it worked. It ended up being very on brand for me. And then like I grew to love it. So, and everybody knows it from the video games. It definitely was a banger. It was an unexpected banger. Let's say that. But yeah. Anyway, I think it really added like to my character because I felt it like when I walked out, like I was able to feel something in the music and relate it to my character. I think that's really important because like the best entrance themes, I feel like they go with the character. Or the character feels something. Like you can tell if somebody's feeling their music or they're not. And those who do, I think it just adds to the entrance theme, the entire entrance in general, the entrance performance.